forse troppo audacemente, nulla però rileva il direttore di gara, e ad ogni modo il Frosinone si era già riappropriato del possesso. Sportiello sulla destra per Gorladiga, mette più che sedere, costringe ad una scivolata senza costrutto Zaza, ottimo dribbling di Goldaniga, poi vediamo Krainc, il pallone basso in avanti, qui un po' troppo d'impeto il Frosinone, ha sciupato il possesso e ora si espone alla ripartenza del Torino da destra con Meite, area di rigore, allunga il passo, termina a terra, tutto regolare, probabilmente, anzi era Aina, ci correggiamo, e non Mete, il calciatore nigeriano, si era allungato il pallone e poi è incespicato sullo stesso. Alcune irregolarità compiuta dai ciociari presenti nella loro area, e questo è stato anche ciò che ha visto il direttore di gara, ed evidentemente non sono arrivati i contrordini dalla coppia VAR, perché la partita è proseguita fluentemente. 34 minuti 14 secondi, ora a terra Ciano, si rialza però l'ex attaccante del Crotone, rimessa in gioco per i suoi compagni di squadra. Da sinistra è pronto Molinaro quando mancano poco più di 10 minuti al raggiungimento del 45esimo, soltanto un infortunio sullo 0-0 corsa a Rincon, poi avrebbe segnato da lì a poco, quindi da capire se arriverà tempo di recupero al 45esimo. Almeno per ora non ci sono state grosse interruzioni. Scivola intanto da destra Campbell, con la partita che è ripresa, Baseli gli sradica il pallone, poi però va a colpire anche Zampano nel tentativo di contendere la palla. Il Torino però può ripartire dalla propria area di rigore con Kulu, via Izzo che avanza nella posizione di mezzo destro, sull'out attende, riceve ora Aina, di nuovo Izzo, poi il servizio centrale per Nkulu, Moretti dalla sua veste di mezzo sinistro, ora Baselli vicino alla linea di metà campo, Baselli lato tribuna centrale, all'indietro per Moretti, Nkulu, lancio morbido sulla destra per Aina, il controllo di ginocchio prima di piede, poi smistamento del pallone troppo corto per Mete, si interpone Alfredson, Ciofani gestisce bene la prima metà campo, Alfredson autotunnel ma mantiene il possesso, Cipsa nel cerchio di centrocampo, sale anche Goldaniga, si porta nella tre quarti Granata, da destra Zampano internamente per Cipsa, davanti alla panchina di Longo, Cipsa temporeggia, invita l'avanzata anche Salamon, e tutto il Frosinone ora a riversarsi nella metà campo del Torino. Lancio di Krainc, non scatta però da sinistra Molinaro, anche perché temeva di essere in posizione di fuorigioco di rientro, il pallone sfila direttamente sul fondo, calcio di rinvio in favore di Sirigu. 35 minuti 56 secondi allo Stadio Olimpico, Torino 1 Frosinone 0, porta alla nostra destra per l'estremo difensore del Torino Sirigu, che sta per sistemare la palla al limite dell'area piccola e poi riprendere il gioco, gara che riprende adesso con Baselli nella propria metà campo, poi Meite all'indietro di prima per Nkulu, da Nkulu ad Izzo nella classica posizione di centrodestra, Meite si avvicina alla metà campo, allarga sulla corsia di destra per Aina, retropassaggio per Izzo, Nkulu, il Frosinone che corre a vuoto, vittima del torello del Torino, lunga scarico in avanti di Moretti, di testa vi è Goldaniga, poi nel cerchio di centrocampo Meite, Belotti prova a sfondare ma alla fine il tentativo di scardinare la marcatura di Salamon non è a lui favorevole, termina a terra Belotti, il pallone viene riconquistato da Frosinone, saltella la Trapattoni Mazzari davanti alla sua panchina, magari vorrebbe un Torino un po' più cinico. Intanto Campbell, Ciano ai 25 metri tra tre avversari, da terra larga bene sulla destra per Zampano che è in posizione regolare, va a puntare Berenguer, raggiunge il fondo, il cross di Zampano tagliato dal limite dell'area piccola, però un culù senza avversari, rinvia a Campanile lateralmente da sinistra, mette giù uno scomodo pallone Baselli, poi temporeggia troppo, allora Zampano rinviene, Cipsa dalla destra, Zampano, Ciano tutto di fino e via la chiusura, però pallone laterale, rimessa in zona attacco in favore, il cronometro del primo tempo, Torino 1 Frosinone 0, Zampano per Cipsa in posizione di ala destra vicino alla riga laterale tra tre avversari, si allunga il pallone, rinvia ma non di molto il Torino, Salamon costretto a procedere all'indietro, a rientrare nei propri metri, a chiamare all'opera anche il portiere Sportiello, ben fuori l'area di rigore. Salamon ora nella posizione di terzino destro, l'ex difensore del Cagliari effettua un lungo lancio, termina a terra Nkulu, si gioca per l'abito, pallonetto di Ciofani, Ciano al volo dal limite, pallone consegnato però in bocca a Sirigu, e qui ha sprecato un'opportunità il Frosinone, perché indipendentemente dal presunto fallo su Nkulu ad ogni modo avrebbe poi avuto un occhio di rivisitazione la VAR. Ebbene che il delizioso pallonetto a scorrere di Ciofani per Ciano non ha avuto adeguata traduzione, perché Ciano anziché lasciare spiovere il pallone, l'ha colpito dai 18 metri regalandolo con un tiro basso e di poco sospeso dall'erba a Sirigu, altrimenti vi era lo spazio perché il Torino era in affanno di marcatura, di entrare in area di rigore e presentarsi davanti al portiere Granata. Intanto bello slalom da sinistra di Berenguer, lo trattiene per una maglia Zampano ma resiste Berenguer e poi termina a terra il giocatore del Torino, ma ciò non esclude come, avendo l'arbitro precedentemente applicato il vantaggio, alla prossima interruzione possa arrivare un'ammonizione per Zampano, reo di aver trattenuto platealmente per la maglia Berenguer. Non vi è stato modo di fermare l'esterno di centrocampo del Torino in questo frangente. 39 minuti giocati, ora vi atterra Campbell, il Torino spedisce il pallone fuori dai confini regolamentari, inizia il 40esimo, Torino 1, Frosinone 0. Vediamo se adesso a gioco interrotto l'arbitro ci ricorderà evidentemente del fallo più che tattico di Zampano, che dovrebbe coincidere con un'ammonizione. La trattenuta per la maglia è stata più che plateale, l'arbitro non ha interrotto il gioco perché Berenguer ha proseguito in progressione, poi però è terminata a terra senza fallo e a quel punto, secondo anche i dettami di regolamento, il vantaggio si era concretizzato, quindi l'arbitro ha ragione, non ha interrotto la contesa, però ha risparmiato il giallo a Zampano, perché a gioco interrotto non ci pare sia andato nei confronti del terzino o dell'esterno, a seconda delle posizioni rispettivamente non possesso e possesso palla di Zampano, per ammonire lo stesso. 40esimo, Toro 1, Frosinone 0, spinge ora da sinistra Molinaro, ma il pallone sul medesimo asse giunge soltanto in un secondo tempo a Ciano, e allora Ciofani, spigolo dell'area di rigore tra due avversari, difficoltà di voltarsi, alla fine perde il possesso. Belotti nella posizione di terzino destro, rischia anch'egli una serie di contrasti nella metà campo del Torino, tutti valutati regolarmente dal signor Pezzuto della sezione AIA di Lecce. Meite orizzontalmente per Moretti, di prima Baselli, bella la giocata interna per Meite, un po' scoperto il Frosinone, lancio di Meite sulla sinistra, scatto di Zaza, lato corto l'area di rigore, ripassa davanti però Goldaniga, poi in caduta termina fuori dal campo insieme col pallone. Si lamenta Goldaniga perché gradirebbe una spinta alle sue spalle da parte di Zaza, cosa che evidentemente l'arbitro non registra. Allora arriva il primo calcio d'angolo della partita in favore del Torino. Tutto questo al minuto 41. Nel corso del primo tempo Torino 1, Frosinone 0, corner che viene battuta alla nostra sinistra sotto la curva Maratona, alla destra della porta difesa da Sportiello, pallone che viene lentamente collocato nell'area d'angolo e intanto si portano nell'area del Frosinone anche i difensori centrali Moretti, Nkulù e Izzo, tutti e tre, oltre ovviamente a Baselli e a Belotti. Parte il cross, secondo palo, e vi è Meite che dal vertice destro dell'area piccola in salto precario prolunga il pallone sul fondo largo alla sinistra di Sportiello, non essendo riuscito evidentemente ad offrire la sponda voluta presso il centro dell'area di porta. 41 minuti e 24 secondi, Torino 1, Frosinone 0. Si riprende con un semplice calcio di rinvio in favore del Frosinone, la porta, lo si ricorda, è quella alla nostra sinistra. Sportiello colloca la palla al limite dell'area piccola, invita i compagni della difesa ad avanzare, quindi procederà a lunga gittata. Parte adesso il suo rinvio col piede destro, palla che spiove poco oltre la mediana, duello tra Rincon e Ciano, palla che schizza sulla destra sotto la nostra postazione. Berenguer va ad adagiare in ultima analisi sul corpo di Zampano, che distinto prolunga e devia fuori, rimessa per il Toro. Lo stesso Berenguer si incarica dell'esecuzione quando mancano meno di 3 minuti allo scadere del tempo regolamentare, rimessa su Zaza, Berenguer di nuovo. Poi pallone a tagliare il campo da sinistra a destra, lo controlla Aina, scende, spunta e sfida Molinaro, si ferma ai 28 metri centralmente Meite, tra due avversari sono Cipsa e Alfredson. Meite si decentra sulla destra e poi il pallone largo per Aina e interno, Molinaro può rinviare e chiudere. Izzo però insiste per il Toro, gira su se stesso a ridosso dell'out destro, retropassaggio per Nkulù, poi Moretti azionato sulla sinistra, varca la mediana, vediamo Berenguer con una finezza, prova a scattare, si allunga il pallone, Cipsa controlla come supplente difensiva e poi riparte smarcandosi anche da Rincon, ma sbaglia Cipsa, regala il pallone in uscita. Belotti dopo il tocco di Berenguer, le posizioni tattiche sembrano un po' falsate in questa fase molto oscura e molto confusa. 43 di gioco, rinvia il Frosinone, attenzione al duello tra Izzo e Ciofani, vinto da Ciofani. Campbell poi meglio inizialmente, quasi al limite su Nkulù, che però respinge seppur mordicchiando morbidamente, ci prova Ciano ora dai 25 metri, tiro basso, respinto dallo stesso Nkulù all'interno dell'area in fallo laterale, rimessa sotto la tribuna centrale con le mani Zampano, Ciano, Zampano da destra, vertice basso, parte il cross di testa, Ciofani sul fondo. In anticipo ha colpito posto obliquamente però alla porta in prossimità del limite dell'area piccola, precedendo Izzo ma mandando il pallone alto e comunque ampiamente al lato alla sinistra di Sirico. Tutto questo al 44esimo del primo tempo. Toro 1 Frosinone 0. Indubbiamente il duello fisico, specie in elevazione, tra Izzo e Ciofani è improponibile, stante l'altezza superiore e maggiore di Ciofani rispetto al difensore granata, però sin qui Izzo in qualche modo sta reggendo. Ancora Frosinone che prova ad attaccare, ma un rimbalzo tradisce Ciano ai 30 metri, in culo di giustezza per i compagni. Ora Mete e Aina dal settore di destra, supera la linea spartiacque, Zazza per Belotti nello stretto, Belotti non riesce però a restituire il pallone al compagno dell'attacco, dunque al compagno di reparto. Poi c'è un secco anticipo di Izzo, questa volta su una palla bassa in danno di Ciofani, può ripartire Zazza ai 30 metri, rimane alto Izzo, ora al limite, intanto conduce il pallone Baselli, Belotti per Izzo che è sempre al limite, non filtra il suggerimento. Poi c'è uno scontro tra Molinaro e Aina, si rialza il giocatore del Torino, rimane a terra Molinaro, l'arbitro non ci pare aver interrotto il gioco. Tutto questo quando mancano 25 secondi al 45esimo e chissà che questa perdita di tempo non induca il direttore di gara alla concessione di un minuto di recupero. Indubbiamente da terra Molinaro ha lottato con ardore contro Aina, forse si è parzialmente girata la caviglia destra e rimane con dolore Molinaro, che però sembra adesso potersi rialzare dopo aver smaltito evidentemente il dolore iniziale. 45 minuti che scadono adesso, il quarto ufficiale, lo ricordiamo, il signor Marinelli di Tivoli, alza a destra una lavagna luminosa contenente l'indicazione di un minuto di recupero che è già scattato, mancano una cinquantina di secondi abbondanti alla fine. Torino 1 Frosinone 0. C'è un cambio gioco basso dal centro verso la sinistra del Torino, letto in anticipo da Zampano, poi però da terra in scivolata Berenguer interviene solo sul pallone, non sull'avversario, riparte trasformando l'azione in offensiva, ma una volta raggiunto il vertice alto l'area di rigore consegna il pallone rasoterra a Sportiello, avendo colpito Mai nelle intenzioni tentava uno smistamento orizzontale, invece la palla in diagonale e ha proseguito a incedere presso l'area piccola e Sportiello se ne è avvantaggiato. 25 secondi alla fine del primo tempo, Berenguer dal settore di sinistra, interviene l'arbitro con un fischio perché non si era concretizzato un vantaggio relativo ad un atterramento di colui che sta decidendo la partita, vale a dire Rincon, dopo l'intervento errato ad opera di Zampano. 45-52, Toro 1 Frosinone 0. E allora possiamo sintetizzare questo primo tempo con un Torino che meritatamente in vantaggio per quello che ha costruito, anche se la prestazione del Frosinone, ripetiamo, non è dispiaciuta, anche se non è coincisa con grossi pericoli d'attacco. Al 7° minuto sullo 0-0 Belotti in diagonale coglie il palo interno, palla che rientra in campo. Intanto finisce adesso il primo tempo dopo 46 minuti e 12 secondi. Poi al 20esimo Zazza, abile nell'invitare alla discesa Rincon, la palla è nello spazio, si può definire quasi filtrante, Rincon si inserisce, avanza fino ai 20 metri, conclude con una sassata poco prima della lunetta, la palla che termina nell'angolo basso alla destra di Sportiello. Un ammonito Ciano del Frosinone, 2 angoli ad 1 per il Frosinone e il punteggio che è Torino 1 Frosinone 0 in questo anticipo dell'8ª giornata del campionato di Serie A, anticipo del venerdì.
in, but yeah, it's just not quite happening in that final third. But we sort of alluded to it a little bit before the game as well when we talked about the midfield three. Is there anyone that may sort of pick out that pass? And they're all quite defensively minded, Obiang, Rice and Noble, which can work for you, but when you're chasing a game, sometimes it doesn't. But I think there's still enough. There's still something in this game where West Ham can think they'll get back into it.
Yeah, still very early stages, of course. 27 minutes gone. Independent off-tube studio commentary. Brighton now hook one down the near flank, but Masuaku will rescue it and play it out. Noble now back to Rice. Here is Balbuena. Zabaleta's wanting the ball and he receives it, so Zabaleta aiming to go forward. And West Ham fortuitously get it through Obiang. It's a loose touch from Brighton. This ball to Arnautovic. He's attacked. Brighton can now come forward. A bit more of a stretched feel to this game now that West Ham are in need of going forward. Murray then lays one off to the left, headed away by Zabaleta, but collected by Jahanbach. Here is Gaetan Bong. Bong then squares it back as the ball is whipped to absolutely no one whatsoever. It's a terrible pass aimed towards the back post. I think maybe they thought that Glenn Murray was taking up position there, but evidently not. Just having another look at the goal, and Kyle was able to get so much space, the ball into the far post, and it's just Arthur Masuaku that completely goes to sleep there. It's
poor. I mean, Masuaku throws his hands at the teammates ahead of him, but when Kyle has initially taken that ball down the left flank, we see Issa Diop, he just puts out his left hand as in to say to Masuaku, he's yours, Murray to my left hand side is yours, because Diop's got to mark the man that's running in ahead of him. So Diop does the right thing, he moves forward there, he marks the person that's ahead of him, but Masuaku just, I don't know what he's doing. Masuaku's got no idea of positional sense of where or what's around him. He thinks somebody's behind him, he thinks he's got to hold his position, where really he should just step forward, he should cut that one out before Murray can get it.
Well, Mark Noble's just had half an effort towards goal after it bounced to him on the edge of the box, but never got any purchase behind it, so Matt Ryan gathered that easily as Brighton play a long one down the near side. Murray's on the deck, probably wanting a free kick, but it's given us a throw into West Ham instead. But Masuaku, Brighton are going to try and pen him right in. The man who arguably is at fault for the goal, but he might feel that Yarmolenko was the man at fault for giving the ball away. And Arnautovic heads it on. Brighton with a shot from the edge of the box, and Fabianski, well, that was a test of his hand skills. It was Jahanbach that picked the ball up there, a real snapshot out of nothing, and good save from Fabianski. Concentration from him.
Yeah, really good concentration. He hits it with good sort of bit of whip, bit of pace, a low sort of daisy cutter-ish, and he has to watch it all the way. Fabianski get his body behind it. It's a smart save, one he should be making, and he did. But Brighton just growing in confidence now they're taking the lead.
Yeah, they certainly are. Here is Yarmolenko as West Ham try and find some sort of riposte. Ball played forward now to Arnautovic. Here is Anderson. Anderson's got Masuaku out wide. Masuaku's on his own, so needs some support or to put it in. He'll go backwards instead. Back with Felipe Anderson, who delivers a lovely ball to the opposite side for Zabaleta. And Arnautovic is the strike will come from Obiang. It bounces on the floor. Well, he's growling in frustration. Is Pedro Obiang. That initially came from Anderson's very clever pass to Zabaleta on his own. Tried to tee one up for Arnautovic. He was just beaten to it, but then it fell to Obiang. And he's not exactly a goal-scoring midfielder, and it's just a bit of a poor effort really from Obiang.
Yeah, I can see what he's trying to do, hit it into the ground, sort of let it skip off the surface, but he hits it with too much of an angle. Huge credit goes to the Brighton skipper Bruno, because he just gets enough in the way there to put Arnautovic off. If he doesn't make that challenge, Arnautovic puts that in the back of the net for me. He's no more than 8 yards out, he's running onto this one, and it's on the half volley, but it's really good play by the captain to sense the danger, and then the rebound to Obiang, yeah, just not good enough, probably not who you want it to fall to, but what a ball by Felipe Anderson to Zabaleta.
Yeah, it was a brilliant pass. That's why West Ham paid £40 million for him in the summer, their club record capture from Lazio, the Brazilian. So Brighton now come forward, and Bruno does very well to take it around Anderson. Bruno coming forward, tries to lay one off for Murray. Murray will go back to Bruno. cannons out for a throw-in, but it's got a nice feel about it, this game. Both sides looking to attack.
Yeah, it is. I mean, both defences to me, I think, look susceptible. They don't look the most sturdy, and definitely feel they don't want to put the curse on it, but I think there could be more goals in this game. I'd be very surprised if West Ham don't score, but then again, I wouldn't be surprised if Brighton don't get another. So I think there's still a long way to go on this. Yeah,
before the game kicked off, you maybe had the feeling that this could be one of those tight, cagey affairs between two mid-table sides in the Premier League, but anything but that so far. Anderson forward to Arnautovic, takes it around his man, and then he's brought down in the middle. That's surely going to be a yellow card. It was Shane Duffy who's been called back by Kevin Friend, and well, easy really. I think we signalled in the studio that it was a booking when the challenge went in.
Yeah, I mean, it's Kyle that nearly gets the yellow card, but he gets absolutely done, and then Duffy thinks, yeah, you're not getting past me, wipes him out just before halfway, and it's a long way to go now for Duffy on a yellow card. An hour's play, probably say, with a bit of stoppage time either way. So if you're West Ham, you just think, let's just put a few balls down either side of Duffy, get someone running at him, see if he makes any sort of error.
Yeah, a long hour or so indeed for Duffy to remain only on one booking, and against a player like Arnautovic, who's such a live wire, and he's also a good physical presence. We compliment his technique so much that he is very good in the air when it comes to him, Marko Arnautovic, a real complete player. Rice now squares one to Balbuena, back with Declan Rice. Here is Mark Noble. Noble gets his head up and tries to look forward. He'll square it instead to Obiang, flicks one round the corner for Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko, the Ukrainian, coming forward, cuts in on his left, shoots towards the near post. I think he was trying to catch Matt Ryan out there rather than going towards the far corner, but the Australian did well, and a little bit like Fabianski really, not had too many saves to make, but showed some good handling there.
Yeah, it was a simple one. If he gets beaten from there, he'd be very, very disappointed, but has to make the stop, and he does quite well. It's, it's a little better from Yarmolenko. He struggled to get involved in this game as Yarmolenko. Out of that top three, Anderson's been quite lively, Arnautovic has been a presence, but Yarmolenko is the one where he's just unable to really get started on this. If he's not careful, he's probably one of the likely candidates, as things would stand, to come off at some point. I mean, Snodgrass is on there, Lucas Perez, Antonio, so there are options that the West Ham manager Manuel Pellegrini has if he wanted to decide to change things.
Yeah, but I'm sure that he won't look to do that just yet, as Brighton have a free kick in the centre circle, delivered long, looking for Murray, but it's headed away by Diop, who collected on the near side by March. That's a decent looking ball into the box. Sorry, it was Knockout, not March, and I know it was a little bit too deep, but just one of those that looks like an awful one to defend against. Again, there's two Brighton players offside in that move, so they'd have probably been flagged, and maybe that's why they didn't go forward. But that's a decent looking ball that maybe wasn't right for that kind of situation.
Edging towards half-time then at the Amex, still Brighton 1, West Ham 0, but there's been a chance at either end. The first came for the Seagulls as they look to extend their advantage. It was Johan Bakash there, who, the summer rival, had a shot from sort of around 20-ish, 25 plus yards out, around that sort of distance out, and it was a bending right-footed shot, a low one. It was a smart save in the end by Fabianski. Then West Ham down the other end, their best chance so far. Lovely ball by Felipe Anderson, crossfield ball into the box to find Zabaleta. He volleys it backwards. Arnautovic then looks like he's going to have a free half volley. Bruner gets his foot in. It falls to Obiang in the area. He hits his right-footed half volley into the ground and over the bar. It's Brighton 1, West Ham 0.
Yeah, West Ham just tried to come forward, and again, it's just a half effort really from Marko Arnautovic's point of view. So Brighton will get the goal kick with Matt Ryan, who kept plenty of clean sheets for Brighton last season. It's not been quite the roaring success this time, but certainly made himself at home in the Premier League. Looks a very solid and reliable keeper at this level. Looking towards the far side now, and wherever the long ball is aimed, it will be invariably Glenn Murray on the end of it. A towering header though from Balbuena. Brighton get the ball back in the middle. Here is Bruno, the evergreen fullback, 38 years of age now, which is remarkable to be playing in a position that requires so much energy down that side as well, and he doesn't look like doesn't play like a 38-year-old.
Doesn't know. He's got a lot of energy about him, which, I mean, if I'm that fit at 38, then I'll be very, very happy. But I've got a feeling I won't be for some reason. But yeah, no, it does very, very well to be able to get up and down as much as he does. Very, very impressive.
Yeah, I can say for certain at 23 that I'm not that fit. So Bruno doing very well in the Premier League for Brighton, and another one that's keeping new signings out, really. Bernardo can play on that side. Balogun can fill in at right back as well. There's Kanoke. Well, he tries a training ground move free kick, I think, from the near side. You thought he was going to knock that one long into the box. He played it down the line for one of his teammates to run onto. Completely overhit it. What a waste that is.
Yeah, big waste. It was a chance, you know. You've seen what West Ham have been like when you put the ball direct into the box on a couple of your set pieces, so just get one in there. And, you know, you've got big players, Duffy, Dunk, just let them try and get something on it. Murray's in there, the poacher, so a poor decision making really from Knockout. Just looking actually at the players that West Ham have got out injured at the moment. Obviously Jack Wilshere, Andy Carroll, Winston Reid, Javier Hernandez, Carlos Sanchez, but the big one is still Manuel Lanzini, isn't it? He's that player that just links everything up, sits in between the midfield and the front three, really, to say, and just picks out the passes. Is very, very technically gifted, and I think they are missing someone like him at the moment.
Yeah, because the three in the middle now of Rice, Noble and Obiang, not really a great deal of creativity in there. I think maybe 5-6 years ago you'd have regarded Noble as the creator, but he's having to drop back a bit more deep because his legs are going. Obiang's more of a powerhouse, and Declan Rice sits in front of the defence, so Manuel Lanzini would undoubtedly be in there, and, well, a fit Jack Wilshere would probably get in there as well.
That's the issue, isn't it? A fit Jack Wilshere. You don't say it that much, do you? This move to West Ham was meant to be the new sort of chapter, the new beginning for him, and got injured in 6 weeks. He was meant to be on the sidelines. He's already spent a couple of those, and yeah, it's just frustrating, really. It must be for Hammers fans. I mean, great signing, they probably would have thought, on a free transfer. Yes, a lot of wages he would have costed, but it is that sort of thing about him, isn't it? You know, if he's fit, he's a good player, but how many games is he going to play in a season for you?
That's the thing. He'll probably play about half the games, which for the I know he went on a free transfer, but for the wages that he'll have undoubtedly commanded.
If he sets up, you know, in those 18 appearances or 19 appearances, if he sets up 10 goals, if he provides 10 assists, or if he scores, you know, 7 goals, provides 5 assists, then you can go, okay, maybe, but still then you wouldn't want someone who's got that sort of profile about them and has played well in those games to only do half a season.
No, that's the problem, and a kitten, to be honest, quite often he doesn't provide 10 goals a season or score those. He's technically very adept. As Brighton come into the box, and that's a volley from Jahambaks in the box. It was just a simple throw-in, flicked on at the near post. I think it was Murray that got there ahead of his man. A brilliant flick as well to Jahambaks, who was maybe caught a little bit off guard as he went for the strike. I think he just wasn't anticipating that.
Just goes with too much power for me, I think. It's a lovely throw, lovely volley back. It's perfect from Glenn Murray. And I just think he goes for a little bit too much power there with the volley, the Iranian. It's beautifully set onto his right foot, but just it's a bit of a wild swing at it and goes way over the bar. I know it's a difficult technique, but I think you should be hitting the target.
Probably should, and a player who arrived into this season, as I mentioned, in great goal-scoring form. Top goal scorer for AZ Alkmaar, the first ever Asian player to be the top goal scorer in one of the Europe's Premier divisions. So a decent record for him. As the ball is now picked up by Anderson, he's got 3 around him. He'll find Masuaku. Masuaku needs to hurry up, and then he plays it into the middle for Arnautovic. Arnautovic across to Noble. He's forced backwards. Here is Rice. Rice across to Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko into the middle for Arnautovic. This is good play from West Ham, and then it just goes underneath Obiang's boots. Brighton don't clear it very well, though. Here comes Masuaku, who'll drive a strike from distance. It takes a deflection and out for a corner. Probably the best they could have hoped for from that shot. Gets
lucky because that's gone well wide for Masuaku, and the deflection gets himself a set piece. But just the difference before there, when Masuaku picks the ball up down the left-hand side and he's right next to Obiang, and Obiang's initial thought is to just run back, drop into a holding role, where you think, no, drive forward or cut inside, make a run forward, pull the Brighton defenders apart. But it's just that defensive mentality he's got.
Yep, so a corner kick on this far side now. About to be whipped into the box towards the penalty spot, but it's headed away, and now Brighton can come forward on the counter. Here is Bruno. Bruno, though, challenged by Arnautovic, getting back and sliding in. Not something we're too accustomed to seeing from Arnautovic. But I suppose that's one of sticks out on the flank and waits for the ball to come to him.
Yeah, it needed to be there on Arnautovic, because Brighton were sort of half suggesting they were going to create a quick counter-attack as free kick's been given out to West Ham as Solly March was pulling the shirt there of Diop. But yeah, Brighton happy, he seems to play on the counter, just use the pace they've got. They have a lot of it. Solly March, knock-up, Yamba Cash, so they know they can just try and sit and soak up a little bit of this West Ham pressure.
Here is Noble, plays it forward now to Yarmolenko. Yarmolenko puts one into the box. The problem is that they're just not getting enough men in the box, West Ham. The ball goes forward, and Arnautovic is dropping deeper, perhaps feeling a bit of frustration, and because of that, there's no one there in the box. They need a midfield runner to go in there, and obviously Noble and Rice aren't going to do that. You maybe expect it more Obiang of the three of them in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't think he will, but if he was to take of A, B or C, or Obiang, Rice or Noble off, and bring on a more forward-thinking player and just change the formation slightly, so sit two holding midfielders and then go with three behind on Arnautovic. You know, these sort of full 2-3-1 when you a lot these days in the Premier League and across Europe as well. Take one of those holding midfielders out and just bring someone on. You could bring a Snodgrass on, you could then just put Felipe Anderson infield a little bit, you could bring Antonio, just change it around, have three players there behind Arnautovic that are willing to go forward.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that Manuel Pellegrini certainly does have on the bench. He does have options to change things, as Arnautovic plays one into Yarmolenko, who spins back the edge of the box. Yarmolenko finds Masuaku out wide. Masuaku to Anderson now, hugging this touchline. They just play a 1-2 back with each other. Now Anderson will try and take it round both Kanoke and Bruno, but Bruno gets in with a challenge. Excellent defending once again from him as he plays a long one up towards Solly March. It goes over his head, so now West Ham come back. Just a minute of normal time to go, and whatever's added on, I can't imagine there'll be more than a minute, because it's a game that's flowed pretty well. We've not seen the referee Kevin Friend too much, apart from that booking that he issued to Shane Duffy, which I'm sure even Duffy would admit was a yellow card. Here comes Arnautovic now. A few step overs, gets into a more central area, then squares it to Anderson. Anderson coming back to Noble now. Cross to Yarmolenko, who's again got Zabaleta on his outside, but he's always looking to cut in on his left. Here is Anderson now, who's coming more central, tries to flick one over the top for Zabaleta, and then Brighton can come on the counter, laid off to Jahanbakhsh, but Anderson makes up for the mistake and gets the challenge in.
And Anderson is screaming. I think it was Zabaleta who's having a go at maybe for not making more of a better run when they were trying to attack there, and maybe not tracking back either, but it's a long way for Zabaleta, who's getting on a little bit as well. But I think Pellegrini, not good enough from West Ham in the attacking third in this game. It's one lapse really, has cost them a goal. That's all it was. It was a decent move, but if Masuaku was switched on, then that goal wouldn't have happened for Brighton. He wasn't, and Murray made them pay. So I think Chris Hughton will be happy they're 1-0 up, but he certainly won't be comfortable.
No, he won't, as they put another cross into the box. No one there, far too close to Fabianski, so 30 seconds left with the 1 minute added on. Last chance maybe for West Ham to just launch one forward, although Fabianski will just roll it out to Rice instead. So he's got a bit of space to move into. Squares it now to Masuaku, who then picks out Anderson in front of him. Anderson is running inside. March trying to defend. Anderson still on the ball. He's still got Masuaku for company, and he finds him. Masuaku touches it on to Obiang. Obiang to Anderson. Anderson running inside. Finds Arnautovic. Arnautovic lays it back to Noble. And that is the half-time whistle at the Amex Stadium. Brighton lead West Ham 1-0.
Half Half-time at the Amex, it's Brighton 1, West Ham 0. The only goal of the game so far coming on the 25th minute. It was West Ham who gave the ball away on the halfway line through Yarmolenko, then breaking forward. Kyle is the one that nipped the ball away. He's the one that drove down the left-hand side, puts a lovely ball into the 6 area, and Murray opens his body with his right foot and guides it into the bottom right corner. Poor defending from Masuaku though, who just switched off. Arnautovic had a volley which was blocked well, whilst Obiang had a half volley which went over the bar. At the break, it's Brighton 1, West Ham 0. Half-time at the Amex, it's Brighton 1, West Ham 0. The only goal of the game so far coming on the 25th minute. It was West Ham who gave the ball away on the halfway line through Yarmolenko, then breaking forward. Kyle is the one that nipped the ball away. He's the one that drove down the left-hand side, puts a lovely ball into the 6 area, and Murray opens his body with his right Ham in their claret and blue from left to right. Referee Kevin French's whistle. False start. And now we do have this start eventually there as Kyle gives the ball back, and then just a long ball punted forward by the left boot, the right boot there of Lewis Dunk. It's up towards Solly March, who wins a couple headers, and then Diop gets half a foot to that one. It's stabbed out to the right hand side, then a long ball down the right channel, volleyed away by Masuaku. And Arnautovic does well to lay that one off. Yarmolenko comes in, now out to the left hand side, and they just about work this one, but it will be a throw to Brighton on the far right side of the field on the halfway line. For Brighton, it is Ryan in goal, then it's Bong, Dunk, Duffy, who's yellow carded, Bruno, March, Kayal, Proper, Knockout, Johan Bakash and Murray. As for West Ham, Fabianski in goal, then it's Masuaku, Diop, Balbuena, Zabaleta, Obiang, Rice, Noble, Anderson, Arnautovic and Yarmolenko. As Brighton have the ball down this right side of the field, and Knockout tries to cut in field, he just knocks it back towards Proper, who goes all the way towards his right centre half in Duffy. James Mason, myself again, and Dan McCarthy next to me for the next half, or the second and final half of this match. And, well, I expected more goals. I still do expect more goals. Although, if West Ham don't up the tempo, then they're not going to get it.
No, they're not. They were quite disappointing in that first half, and I think Manuel Pellegrini will have identified the fact that they just didn't have any real creativity in the middle of the park. So Arnautovic has had to drop deeper. Anderson has. Yarmolenko's been very disappointing in that first half. I don't know if he's maybe got any changes in the offing, but he could still do something like maybe push Anderson into the middle and bring on Antonio out wide, give them a bit of pace and a bit more directness, and just mix things up a little bit.
Yeah, it was West Ham on the ball at the back with Fabianski. Oh, and he's taking a bit of a risk there, trying to do a little sort of Cruyff turn back in towards his own box, and he gets very, very lucky as the ball sort of bounces kindly away from the Brighton close down there and Murray, and he just kicks it out there. Well, that could have been absolute calamity for the Hammers at the back there. Would have been a perfect start to the second half. Brighton do have the throw on the far right side. It's launched down the line to March. He's trying to hold up Masuaku. Bit of weak play there by the Brighton winger, and West Ham eventually will get themselves a throw. That's deflected off Knockout, but Fabianski going back to the old days where he used to make mistakes.
Yeah, it's quite uncharacteristic for him nowadays. He's such a solid and reliable goalkeeper. Just took too much time with it, and Glenn Murray, you know, he's not a player that's got great pace or energy, but he looked like he had Fabianski there, and he was lucky that the ball did fall to him, and he was close enough to the touchline where he could just boot the ball out. Anywhere will do.
Yeah, throw down the line for West Ham, where he's booted back towards them, but it's straight behind and out for a goal kick. Manuel Pellegrini cutting a frustrated figure on the sidelines in the technical area. He'll want to see an improvement from his side in the first 10 minutes of this second half. Otherwise, he's then probably going to think about the changes that he has. I mentioned them before, but he's got Cresswell on the bench, Snodgrass, Adrian the sub-goalie, Ogbonna, Fredericks, Lucas Perez and Michael Antonio. As for the home side, they've got Basuma, Locadia, Andone, Balogun, Izquierdo, Bernardo and the sub-goalkeeper Button. So there is options for those managers. Izquierdo, really lively player, good to watch, but he's had his injury problems at the start of this season. Andone yet to feature for Brighton since arriving in the summer, along with a few new players. Balogun being one of them, but he was in at the start of the season as Brighton have got a bit of mopping up to do at the back. A long ball forward and Bong will intercept it. Well, that's not the greatest ball out from Ryan, and he gets lucky there, the Aussie. Then Yarmolenko just falls over, saying there was a foot out there from Dunk. From what I can lip read, Dunk doesn't agree.
No, I think that's safe to say. It was a poor ball out from Matt Ryan, and Yarmolenko's gone down very, very easily there, and you can understand Dunk's annoyance with that.
Yeah, I don't actually think he touches him, and the referee's right there, they're right next to the play, so he must have thought there was some flick on him. But it is a chance to West Ham. It's probably just a little bit too far out to have a shot. I think Felipe Anderson standing over this when Yarmolenko right ahead of him. I think he's just going to pass it to Yarmolenko, who will stop it, and Anderson will try and whip it towards the far post. And that's exactly what they do. And oh dearie me, They do that technique, but Anderson hits it straight into the two-man wall, which is just ahead of him, and now Brighton have got a chance to counter-attack, and it's over halfway. There's an opportunity now for Johan Bakash, but his ball out to the right is poor. Very composed work by Masuaku. Now Rice has it, now Noble, and now West Ham can try and turn defence into attack, I should say, as Yarmolenko has possession on halfway. Out to the left for Obiang. Now it's with Rice. He'll try and switch it out to this right-hand side. It's a good ball as well. Zabaleta just chests it down before it goes out of play. Holds on to possession, then runs in field. Finds the ball towards Rice. I could say Republic of Ireland international, as he is at the moment, exchanges passes. Now it's out to the left-hand side where Masuaku has the ball. Now down the line towards Anderson. West Ham trying to just press and get him behind this Brighton defence as Obiang lays it back out to the left-hand side for Anderson. Onto his right foot. He's cut in field a few yards. Now he finds Arnautovic back towards goal there, around 30 yards out. He leaves it back towards Rice. Now it's with Noble. Hammer's patient, keeping the ball away from Brighton, but they need a bit of cutting edge to their play. Zabaleta now runs in field, and he's jockeyed well by March. Now it's Rice to Obiang. It's a bit sideways this from West Ham, and they're under no real pressure, being forced back towards halfway. Noble now will pick up possession, he's looking ahead to try and play some sort of pass, but there's not a great deal there for West Ham at the moment. The movement is a little bit poor as this ball is switched out to the left side for Diop by Balbuena. That's a little bit better. Anderson can turn, finds a ball in field to Arnautovic. Again is back to goal, but now he just drops it to Noble. Out to the right side for Zabaleta. Back in field towards Yarmolenko now. Now Arnautovic has it in the box. Back to goal. Tries to lay it to Yarmolenko. Great footwork there by the Ukrainian, but he just can't get a shot away. And Brighton will clear their lines. They give possession away. The West Ham have it back, but it's almost there in that little passage of play for West Ham.
Yeah, it is. It was really good play from Yarmolenko just to hold up the ball and from Arnautovic, to hold up the ball, and Yarmolenko ran back onto it, showed some good close control as they come again down the far side.
Yeah, it's Masuaku now, and he puts the ball back down the line to Anderson, Ball into the box is a poor one though. I think Yarmolenko had made half the sort of move, the edge, to run towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and Anderson went for that ball, but Yarmolenko stopped his run, and he was just sort of edged out of it as well by Bong. It was good defending by the Brighton left-back as his ball is played long forward by Ryan. Murray trying to win his header. Is beaten in the air by Diop, but that's poor from Noble though as Brighton gifted possession back, but then that's poor from Johan Bakash as Brighton give away possession very cheaply. It's the Hammers with the ball now. It's out to this right side for Zabaleta, just inside his own half. Plays it down the line, and there's a little bit of room for Obiang now. He's got Zabaleta on the inside, but Obiang ignores him, still coming forward. Finds Arnautovic. First time layoff now to Yarmolenko. Back to Arnautovic. A bit snappier this is from West Ham, and now Arnautovic plays a little 1-2. He's into the penalty area, left-footed strike, and it's at the near post, and an easy save.
Yeah, an easy save for Matt Ryan, but Arnautovic is really trying to make things happen now. Good 1-2 there between himself and Anderson. He had the pace to get away from Bruno. The angle was a little bit too acute for the strike, so it meant it was an easy save in the end. But West Ham, they should be encouraged by the start they've made to this second half.
Yes, ever so slightly scuffed that effort was there from Arnautovic. Just sort of bobbled along the floor a little bit towards the near post as Zabaleta and Murray. Well, Murray picked Zabaleta back up for a little coming together, and they're both friends, so it's alright as West Ham have possession. As they'll take this free kick midway through their own half. Balbuena just gives it towards Diop, and now he'll come forward, the big centre half. Gives it back to Balbuena. Now up to this right side for Zabaleta. Bit of pressure comes on from Johan Bakash, but West Ham have it back now with Balbuena. Back towards Fabianski. Puts his right foot through this one. It's a long ball at field, but not really the type of ball West Ham want, because the two centre-halves and Duncan Duffy absolutely will mop that up all day long. Or all night long, I should say, as West Ham have the ball on the left-hand side though as Brighton give it away, and now it is with Anderson. He's got Masuaku on the overlap, but Anderson going himself there, and he's having a run at Bruno into the penalty area. He tries to dig out across there, maybe a chance. It squirts towards the far post. Arnautovic will bring it down. He's under pressure with two Brighton players, and it's going to go out for a corner kick. Very good play by Anderson. Yeah, it was excellent play from Anderson. He had Masuaku on the opposite side, didn't need to use him. The cross deflected off Bruno, and it was very nearly unfortunate for the Brighton man, and then Arnautovic held it up,
corner kick for West Ham now, looking dangerous.
Yeah, Anderson with his right-footed outswinging delivery. There's maybe a chance, and it bounces down in the area. There's half shouts for a penalty from the West Ham fans behind the goal there, but eventually Brighton clear their lines. I don't think it's anywhere near the hand, I have to say. It's David Prupper, the man that is on our screens, and he is the one that was involved in that, but I think he's got his hands tucked into his side, and I think it more sort of hits his stomach area. Yeah,
and I think the fact that the ball came so close to him that he wouldn't have had much time to readjust from that. Have another look. Yeah, that came off his stomach, his leg, perhaps. No way, that's a penalty.
No, good decision there by the referee, Kevin Friend, who has had a very good game, actually. He's just done about every decision right from what I can remember. Into the second half then, Brighton 1, West Ham 0, but it's been improvement from the Hammers at the start of the second half. There's a lot more tempo and pace to their game. You'd feel the manager Manuel Pellegrini had a bit of a word with them, put a rocket up them to come out at the break, and it's sort of half worked so far. There was a decent chance for Arnautovic, half a chance I'd have to say. He is getting involved in all of their good play, plays a 1-2 on the edge of the box, drives into the area from a tight angle. He goes for a left-footed strike there, rather scuffs it though, and it's easily saved at the near post. But it's West Ham that are looking dangerous. Brighton though, watch out for them on the counter-attack. It's Brighton 1, West Ham 0.
Yeah, they came forward then down the left and put a very teasing one into the box, but Fabianski was able to get hold of it as Noble now plays one in for Yarmolenko. Arnautovic is peeled out wide. Obiang's running into the box. Here comes Arnautovic, tries to dance away from the Brighton defenders and then gets a challenge in, and I think Arnautovic is going to be booked for that, as it's a yellow card now. Kevin Friend attends to the stricken player, and Arnautovic will collect West Ham's first booking of the game.
Yeah, he can't believe it, Marko Arnautovic, but there you go. The yellow card has been shown. He's in the book. He's remonstrating with Kevin Friend. We'll see again. Trying to win the ball back. It's a little to be fair, that's a really, really harsh yellow card. Arnautovic goes to slide in. He pulls his foot back, and it's actually Kayal who puts his foot on top of Arnautovic's leg there. There's actually no contact from Arnautovic, studs-wise or anything, on Kayal.
Yeah, first glance I did think it was a yellow card, but the fact that Arnautovic was clearly trying to pull out of the challenge, and to add insult to injury, Kyle trod on him, and to be fair to Arnautovic, he made absolutely no kind of appeal to the referee at all that it should have gone his way, and he did look a bit of a sore one almost.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's the first error. Just as I said, Kevin Friend was having a really good game. That's probably the first error he's made, I think, and yeah, Arnautovic a little unlucky, but that was an opportunity as Noble plays the ball forward there, over the top of the defence. Yarmolenko trying to run onto it. Good pace shown by Bong though. You beat the Ukrainian in a foot race, and then there's going to be a free kick as Zabaleta's brought down. Well, this is Johan Bakash. He could go in the book. He arguably got away with one in the first half. He takes down Zabaleta this time. It's not a great challenge, very clumsy if anything, and he goes in the book as well. So that's 3 yellow cards, 2 for Brighton with Duffy and Johan Bakash, and 1 with West Ham with Arnautovic. But it is a chance for West Ham to get a ball into the box. It's a free kick in a decent place down on this right hand side. It's around sort of 35 plus-ish yards out, a little bit more in. It's just a little bit of needle, I think, starting to get into this match after a couple of challenges that have gone in. But Anderson is standing over this free kick where he'll again do that sort of routine with Yarmolenko. Swung towards the far post. It drops down to Arnautovic now. He just smashes one in, and then a poked effort has gone wide there. It's actually Balbuena, which has come off a Brighton man, lunging it at him, and it's going to be a corner.
Yep, clever free kick routine as Anderson drifted it to the back post. Arnautovic finding himself in space. That's all he really could have done from that kind of byline area. Just try and smash one back across and see if anyone can get a touch, even a Brighton. And it's gone out for a corner kick.
It's a great interception there by Duffy, a block to put it behind. This corner comes in though. It's a good looking corner. Oh, what a chance. What a chance for Fabian Balbuena. Well, he's just been denied with a poked effort by a great block from Duffy. But this is a free header inside the 6-yard box, and he's fluffed his lines.
Yeah, it's a great chance for West Ham. He got the right side of his marker. He got past Glenn Murray. What a chance that is for West Ham to get the equaliser. Only 6 yards out. He almost looked like he was diving in for the header just too early in that instance, but he still should have put West Ham ahead as they've made the first change of the game and they are going to go more attacking now. Aubameyang off and Michail Antonio on.
Yeah, we sort of mentioned that change he could make in the first half, and he has made it now in the second, but well, that should be 1-1. He's around 4 yards out, isn't he? Balbuena there with the header. He's well inside the 6-yard box, and yeah, that should be 1-1. He does have a defender close to him, but he gets away from him. For me, that is a free header for the West Ham centre-half, who should really be celebrating, but he's not. Still Brighton 1, West Ham 0. Like I said, Antonio is onto the field of play. Just seeing, and it is Felipe Anderson who's gone into that sort of number 10 role, just to try and be that creative outlet. Antonio's out on the left, and you've got Yarmolenko on this right-hand side. Though Antonio could play as the lone striker. We'll wait and see, actually, because Arnautovic could drop a little bit deeper, and I think actually that's what happened. I think Antonio has gone actually as the lone striker now. Those might kind of switch as this match goes on.
Yeah, I think it just gives a little bit more variety up there because Antonio can play the lone striker role, so can Arnautovic. It means Anderson can come inside, and it'll just be a little bit more unpredictable now, I think, from a West Ham point of view.
Yeah, Brighton in possession. Knockout going the wrong way. He's running towards the edge of his own box and he gives it away, and Anderson now nips in and wins it. That's going to be a free kick, and well, Kyle could find himself going in the book now. He was, well, a little unfortunate not to maybe see the yellow card before when Arnautovic got the booking in their challenge. Now he does go in the book. It's dreadful from Knockout with his pass, and I think Kyle thought, I've got to do this, I've got to take him down.
Well, it's a great run from Knockout, just going the wrong way, and he just slipped at the crucial moment. Anderson nicked in. Kyle had to make the challenge, and maybe having a word with Knockout at full time saying you're paying the fine for that.
Yeah, 3 yellow cards now for Brighton. You have Bakash, Kyle and Duffy. 1 for West Ham with Arnautovic, but this is in shooting range for West Ham. It's sort of left of centre. Anderson is standing over it. I don't think there'll be any sort of routine now. It's just a few yards further out than the edge of the D. Yarmolenko is looking at it, but I'd be very surprised if Anderson doesn't take this with his right foot, try whip it over the wall and into the top left corner. There's a long wall there involved with both sets of players. Yarmolenko looking at this one though, but Anderson steps up, right footed over the wall, but over the bar as well.
I'm a little bit surprised that Arnautovic didn't fancy that one, because he's the talismanic figure for West Ham, and he's scored a few free kicks, particularly in his Stoke days, but it was left for Felipe Anderson. Just always a poor free kick effort, really. At least try and get it on target and then make the goalkeeper make a decision. From that kind of distance, it was a great chance for them, and he's fluffed his lines. Yeah,
he has indeed, and yeah, you just want him to try and get something, at least to test the goalkeeper, Matt Ryan, but unable to do that. 62 minutes gone. Brighton, West Ham 0. Still the 25th minute strike from Glenn Murray is separating these two sides, and if it stays the same, it'll be 3 straight wins for Brighton against West Ham, having done the double over them last season, a 3-0, a 3-1, and now this is a 1-0 victory for them as things stand, but still a long way to go. And West Ham have shown they can create. They should be back on level terms. Balbuena's missed header before from around 4 yards out, as West Ham play a long ball forward now, up over halfway by Balbuena, headed away though back towards the halfway line, and Solly March has some good footwork, and don't think he's kept it in actually. I think it's going to be a throw for West Ham. No, it's not. It is going to be a throw for Brighton actually. He did keep it in, then just flicked off Zabaleta, much to the dismay of the former Argentina international, as Bong throws this one down the line, finds Murray, but he can't keep a hold of possession. He's just drifted the game ever so slightly, Murray, and I just think that's a sign of West Ham taking a bit of control in this one, pressing forward. Antonio now with the ball down the left-hand side, gets it out of his feet and then just drops it in field to Anderson. Now towards the feet of Masuaku. Rice finds Anderson, well inside Brighton's half. Anderson still trying to work away forward, finds Antonio's cut in from that left side. Great work by Bruno there, sticks with him all the time and then gets the ball away, and then West Ham sloppily give away possession. Long ball forward though, it's to nobody for the Seagulls, but Solly March has done extremely well to win that back. Brighton have got half an opportunity. It's Knockout down this right side, he plays the ball in field to Proper, nice turn by him, lays the ball to this left channel, and Bong's running onto this one now, the marauding left back, swings in a decent looking ball. Oh, what a chance that is for Brighton. This one should be dealt with by Masuaku. I think the offside flag has gone up potentially, but if Johan Bakash leaves that one, Glenn Murray's got a free header.
Yeah, nice ball in from Gaetan Bong. Again, I think both of them were just offside. But looking over to the linesman, he didn't have his flag up, and Johan Bakash, I don't know if Glenn Murray maybe shouted at him and Johan Bakash just couldn't hear, but Glenn Murray would have been diving in and his header would have been towards goal rather than one that have had to have been redirected.
Still Brighton 1, West Ham 0, but the Hammers have just passed up a glorious opportunity. They should really be level, and it was Fabian Balbuena, the right centre half. Initially, the ball was in low from the byline by Arnautovic. Balbuena, his stabbed effort towards the near post was turned behind by a great block by Duffy. Then from the resulting corner, it's whipped in by Anderson. It's a great delivery with pace across the 6-yard box. Balbuena gets ahead of his marker, 4 yards out. Just stooping with his head, and he puts it wide there, sort of skims off his forehead. Should really be 1-1. West Ham are starting to take a bit of control, but they still can't get this decisive goal to put them back on level terms. It's Brighton 1, West Ham 0.
Here is Noble now, squares it to Declan Rice. No changes at the moment in the offing for Brighton. West Ham, of course, have made their first one already, and it's this man on the ball now, Antonio, who tries to take it round, puts one into the box, but it just drifted out for a goal kick at the crucial moment, and Antonio frustrated in his tracks. As we'll just have another look at the replay over on the far side as Masuaku and March with I don't even know why they're bothering showing the replay of that, because it's so insignificant, just handbags. I think that kind of sums up that little phrase, handbags there. So
yeah,
nothing going.
Masuaku puts his hand on the sort of the back of the neck of March for a split second, then March screams at the linesman to say, "Whoa, what's going on?" Yeah, like you said, handbags between the pair and the referee. Again, I think Kevin Friend, bar the Arnautovic booking, which I thought was harsh. I think he's refereed this one very, very well. He's not sort of stood for any nonsense. He's calmed things down. He hasn't give out bookings needlessly. He's waited until it's been in an attacking position. He's just had a quick word with the players when any sort of needle is there. So, yeah, very good officiating. But Brighton have themselves a free kick from very deep. But Knockout will just look to float this one into the box, which he does exactly that out right side, and the header going up there was Dunk. Couldn't win it, but it's off a West Ham head, and it's squirmed out to the right hand side, that far side of the field, and it'll be a throw now to Brighton, which will be taken by, well, March has got it, but I think he'll leave it towards Bruno, which he does. Bruno just trots over, gets the ball from his teammate, and I'd be surprised if this one doesn't go long into the penalty area. He's shown he's got quite a good throw, has Bruno, for the standing position, but just to mug me off, he goes short. And they have it back now with Proper. Lovely chip ball back though. Bruno into the area. Offside flag has gone up there. So close. That would have been tight, I think, with Bruno making the run through. And he doesn't often make those lung-busting little runs past there.
Yeah, there's been quite a few offsides in this game, and correctly given, I suppose, by the linesman. But nice idea from Proper, who we've not really seen often enough in this game so far. Bruno made the run just a little bit too early.
There's a long ball at field now by Fabianski, looking for Arnautovic. He's battling away there. It's a good battle as well with Duffy, but West Ham come up with the ball. Antonio just pokes it in field, but it's just a little too far away from the Austrian up front. Just needs a little bit more quality from his teammates around him as Brighton try and break the offside trap, but a ball down the right hand side takes a deflection, and it's out for a throw-in. Johan Bakash again is the one that's being shown him. Well, he just slices that one out actually with his right foot. I thought it got a deflection for how it ended up, but it was just a really, really poor attempted delivery down the line. We've gone over the midway point of this second half, so 3/4 of this game gone. Still Brighton 1, West Ham 0, but the Hammers are pushing to try and find an equaliser. Dan will take you through the full time.
Cheers, James, as the ball is headed up in the air by Brighton, and they can come forward now. Here they come over the halfway line as they pass it out to Solly March. Here is Knockett now. Knockett squares it back. Knockett, who's to the left. A bit of a change, shuffle in the pack. Bong plays the ball through. Knockett will cross it. There's no one there for him to read it. Lack of composure from the Frenchman, because there wasn't anyone around him. He could have taken another touch, realised that he had no one to cross the ball to, and maybe gone towards the goal instead.
Just does not look there. He's only got one thing in his mind, that's to take a touch, open his feet, open his body, and then just whip it with as much pace. It's very poor, because yeah, like you said, he can easily just have a little run there and then try and square the ball, just look who's around him, have a shot himself, but gives us what was a good opportunity.
Well, West Ham are going to make another change in the next few minutes, I imagine. Lucas Perez is stood ready on the sideline. The Brighton play a long ball forward, offside once again, this time against Solly March. West Ham playing quite a high line, to be honest. There's been quite a few offsides, so Perez will come on for Yarmolenko. No real surprises there. Yarmolenko's flattered to deceive, and it's another centre forward in the box, so now Arnautovic and Antonio will be able to play off him. Yeah,
Yarmolenko, again, to forget for him, really. He's had a couple of flashes of decent play in this game, particularly in the second half, but yeah, not really doing it. Merit his place to stay on the pitch, and Perez on to replace him.
Yeah, and I think Jose Izquierdo is going to come on as well, so another change for Brighton as West Ham come down the near side now. Got themselves a throw-in halfway inside Brighton's half, and not before Brighton do make this change. Ali Reza Jahanbakhsh coming off and Izquierdo on in his place. It's been a fairly difficult evening for Jahanbakhsh, but he's done okay for a first Premier League start. Nothing more though.
Yeah, nothing more. He's been lively, he's got involved in the play, so he's not shied away from it, so fair credit to him. He's had a few poor touches, a few poor shots maybe, but he's kept himself willing to get the ball. Makes it easier for us because we don't have to say his name for the rest of this match now, but Izquierdo wants to replace him, and well, we know a lot about him from watching him last season. Such a lively player. West Ham know a lot about Izquierdo because he scored in both matches against them last season.
Yeah, he is lively is probably the best word to describe him. Always pacey and looking to come inside. Scored a few wonderful goals last season as well. It took him a little bit of time to get adjusted to Premier League football, but he certainly has done as he tries to get on the ball now, and he does get there ahead of Balbuena. Cuts inside, he's then brought down, but he stays on his feet. Brighton still coming forward. Here is March. March cuts inside, just runs into traffic, but somehow gets through it. Here he is once again. Across now as Knockett will pick the ball back up. He just allows it to go out for a corner kick. But Izquierdo straight away making an impact.
Yeah, straight away, and West Ham get away with that one. That they don't manage to give up an opportunity. I was just remembering there a few crackers, but Izquierdo scored a cracker in the 3-0 victory for Brighton at West Ham last season. Seem to remember he curls one in from the edge of the box right-footed, and he beats the despairing dive of Joe Hart, who was in the sticks for West Ham in that game.
Corner kick now for Brighton, and Shane Duffy and Lewis Dunk will get up from the back, no doubt. A great chance for them to double their advantage. Knockout's ball in, and it's headed over the bar. Glenn Murray, will feel like he's had several chances this evening. He's got the goal that separates the two sides, but in his mind he probably should have scored a couple. He's left all on his own once again.
Yeah, he's just in between two West Ham defenders there, and Zabaleta and Balbuena it is. Just can't get off the ground quick enough, because when he makes contact with the header there with the ball, it's just he's sliding not over the top of it, which then that is sort of heading it on an upward angle and takes it over the bar from no more than 6 yards out.
Here come West Ham as the shot goes in and it deflects. One of those horrible ones for the defending team when it loops up, but Matt Ryan, safe hands in the right place at the right time. Antonio coming forward this time. Very similar pattern, I suppose, this half to the first half, where it started off a bit slow, but it's really to liven up now.
Yeah, it is. Brighton maybe thinking to themselves, we can't just sit like we have been. They weren't hugely under the cosh, but they weren't retaining possession, they weren't doing anything themselves, they weren't just keeping the ball away from West Ham, they were just soaking up pressure where it felt to a point that it could have just been too much for them. Obviously, you mentioned there that the Balbuena missed headers, and then the last sort of 5 minutes they've thought, no, hang on a minute, let's go at West Ham, let's push them back, we can't defend for the rest of 17 minutes of this game.
Bond throws it long to Murray. Bond will then collect the ball. Perez fell asleep, and he goes backwards now to Proper to Bruno. Bruno will just knock it down the line, looking for Knockett up against Masuaku. Knockett does really, really well there against the player who you'd have probably backed to win that race in terms of pace and strength. Knockett still played forward Looking for March, breaks into the box, looks to dink one, up for Glenn Murray, who heads it over the top of the net. Well, again, Brighton with a great chance, and that's wonderful play. It all stemmed from Anthony Knockett running down that far side. He fed the ball into March, who dinked out a lovely little cross, and Murray, he had to readjust with the header, and it just hit the roof of the net.
It did indeed, but Solly March there just turning inside Lucas Perez far too easily, and the little flick ball. I thought that Solly March would just slip it towards the edge of the box as West Ham come forward.
Yep, here is Arnautovic, but uncharacteristically, that's a terrible cutback from him as he made his way on the near side. No one there, and he maybe could have had a strike at goal. It was that much on his own, but he chose to cut it back to Michail Antonio. No one there to receive it. So here comes Zabaleta now. 4 minutes gone, nearly 75. Independent off-tube studio commentary. Brighton 1, West Ham 0. A Glenn Murray goal in the first half, separating these two sides at the moment. But the Wood doesn't look like it's finished yet. Izquierdo now gets a pass back and then goes out towards Bruno. Knockout's making a run forward. Bruno dallies on the ball though, and Anderson can come collect it as he tries to take it round the experienced Spaniard. He lays it into the box now for Noble. Noble still coming, squares one looking for Antonio. It very nearly finds him. Well, initially I thought Mark Noble's first two touches were terrible, but he somehow managed to get a ball across. And again, fine margins at the moment in this game. Here they come again with Masuaku. And Arnautovic at the edge of the box. He plays one forward for Masuaku. They're having to be very precise with this. Anderson now with the outside of his foot gets a crossing. Perez tries to volley it. It'll fall somehow to Arnautovic. It's still bouncing around the box. Noble's coming now. He takes it outside the box and he needs a bit of support. Forced backwards now to Masuaku. The whistle has gone in the end. It's a Brighton player who's gone down in the box. I don't know if this might be a little bit of gamesmanship, thinking West Ham are battering us at the moment. We'll go down and we'll try and get the game stopped.
Maybe. There was a bit of a scramble in there, wasn't there? I think Proper had actually fallen onto the floor, and then there's maybe a few sort of feet going in trying to kick the ball away from underneath him. So yeah, it's one of that. Again, West Ham, the ball just falling in the box, just not falling for them to get a clean shot at goal. It's very, very impressive there by the Brighton defenders. They're just chucking themselves in the way. We know he's getting on a bit, so we'll let him off. But Bruno just getting one of the ball boys to come round with some sort of energy bar, I think, for him.
Yeah, I've not seen that this season. That's a new one for the 2018-19 campaign. We'll just have another look at this. Lovely effort in, and then Perez kind of swung at it, and from there on in it was just ricocheting here, there and everywhere as Proper went down. I'm not sure what the injury was. So I then see Noble taking it out of the box. I think he just kicked the bottom of Arnautovic's boot, so maybe he felt a sore one on the top of his foot where the metatarsal is, but confusion reigns as we enter the closing stages of this game.
Into the final stages then. Brighton 1, West Ham 0 is still the scoreline, but the Seagulls have actually tried to attack themselves in the second period. They know they can't just sit back as West Ham were putting the pressure on, and Murray had a header from 6 yards out from a corner, which he put over the bar. He got in between Zabaleta and Balbuena, and then Murray again marched some great footwork in the box. He dinks one up to the Englishman, but he puts his header over, his angling header on the roof of the net. As for West Ham, well, they've had a couple sort of scrambles in the penalty area. The ball is not dropping for them at the moment. Lucas Perez is in for Andriy Yarmolenko. Michail Antonio on for Pedro Obiang. Jose Izquierdo has come on for Brighton in place of Johan Bakash. Still 1-0.
It looks like Yves Bissouma is going to come on in the middle for Brighton just to try and make things more solid. That is, of course, unless Davy Proper can't continue. He's on his haunches now, walking very gingerly as the physio takes him off the field, and well, the way that he did walk there signalled maybe perhaps that he can't play for the rest of this game, so a bit of a blow for Brighton. They do have to bring him off, but Bissouma, another summer signing, could be about to make his way onto the field of play. Fabianski collects the ball back. West Ham were given the ball back, but booted all the way down the opposite end of the pitch. Noble will play one forward now. Touched down by Arnautovic. He's got two making his way into the box. Arnautovic crosses, and then it has to be cleared, hoisted into the air from Duffy. Arnautovic heads it back into the mix, and then it's cleared away by Kyle. Here is Noble. Noble into Arnautovic, flicked on, then Zabaleta's made his way into the box. It was a crucial flicked header from Lewis Dunk to get that one out for a corner kick. He's shouting at the referee for something, I'm not sure what, but West Ham coming forward now, and they've got another corner kick chance.
They do, and it's a great ball in by Arnautovic initially in that attack. Exactly where he wanted, towards the edge of the 6-yard box. No one attacking it though. But we mentioned set pieces, these two teams conceding goals regularly since the start of last season.
Anderson's ball in there, it's headed away by Brighton. The whistle hasn't gone the near post. Anderson goes back, and Zabaleta can cross one in. Headed away by Brighton, but again, not convincingly. Antonio tries to reverse one this time, but it's over Anderson's head. The momentum breaks down, and you get the impression that as Bissouma will come on, and it is Proper who he'll replace, so like for like in the middle of the park, you perhaps get the impression now that it's possibly going to be one-way traffic for the rest of this game.
Yeah, you think, although with Chris Hughton bringing Jose Izquierdo on, that's still kept pace on the pitch for them, along with Knockout, along with March. So that's the plan, isn't it, really, for the Seagulls? It's to counter, it's to soak up pressure, and then when West Ham have put too many bodies forward, they just break in. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to see Brighton grab a second, to be quite honest there. The more desperate the Hammers get, the more gaps there are for Brighton to try and expose.
Looks like Robert Snodgrass will be coming on for West Ham as well, so changes afoot as Izquierdo tries to play one in the middle. It just goes behind Kanoke, so Masuaku can collect it. Masuaku then plays one into Arnautovic, who tries to reverse it to Perez. Again, it's crucial last-ditch defence from Brighton. This time Shane Duffy getting in the way, and it's going to have to be a heroic last 10 minutes from the Brighton defensive duo if they are to keep West Ham at bay, because they're pushing men forward. There's so much more in attack than they had in the first half. Seen several occasions since Perez and Antonio have come on that when they've ventured forward, there's been 2 or 3 options in the box compared to the sometimes none in the first half. Yeah,
they're pushing more bodies forward in there. They're trying to get themselves back on level terms. It's just breaking down a little bit. There's not enough. There's no one in between. Mentioned it a few times. There's no one in between that is threading those through balls. It's Arnautovic or Anderson kind of has to do everything at the moment, and it's as if West Ham are waiting for one of those two players just to come up with something special.
Well, here comes one of them now, Anderson, but he can't take it round Bruno. Again, a hoisted long clearance from Brighton. It's collected by Masuaku to Noble. Noble then across to Balbuena, who's header wide from that corner, probably the closest they've come, and he'll be cursing himself if West Ham come away with nothing in this game. West Ham still on the ball now. Here comes Rice. Over to Balbuena, touches it in his stride. Antonio squares it now to Zabaleta. Zabaleta then back with Balbuena. Noble just need to inject a little bit more tempo in this move. West Ham, they're going sideways and keeping the ball nicely, but not particularly going anywhere with it. Masuaku again at a sideways ball to Noble. Noble picks out Antonio. Antonio driving forward now, trying to take it around March. Still feeds one into Arnautovic around 25 yards out. It's then challenged really well by Bissouma, who's just come on. Tough tackling midfielder against Arnautovic, and I think he was lining up the strike there before Bissouma went in on him.
Yeah, Arnautovic isn't happy. He thinks it's a free kick, but I think it's a great challenge for Bissouma. I think he does well there, sticks with his man, puts in a really good slide challenge in, manages to get the ball away. Yeah, he was definitely eyeing something up there on Arnautovic, but couldn't get a shot away.
Well, Robert Snodgrass is on the pitch now with Mark Noble, so very much an attacking formation now. It's Declan Rice who's going to be holding the fort in midfield with 4 attackers in front of him. Sorry, 5 attacking players really, because all 5 of them can switch around and go anywhere they want. Rice now back with Diop. Diop forward to Arnautovic, who probably has more licence to drop a bit deep now because he's got the likes of Snodgrass and Antonio Perez with him. Anderson finds Arnautovic, gets one out wide to Masuaku. Masuaku to Anderson. Arnautovic wants it and gets it, plays a 1-2 with Antonio. A free kick is then given right on the edge of the box. Brilliant chance now, and well, there's no shortage of people who can take this.
I'll be surprised if Arnautovic doesn't just take this now. It's poor from Basuma. He puts his legs out, then he has a little pull of the arm. It's a definite free kick. It's not far actually from where Anderson sort of put his free kick way over the bar when he tried a right-footed effort. It's probably just maybe a couple of yards closer, but I think Arnautovic is going to take this.
I think he will as well. Yeah, he's the prime candidate. Snodgrass as well, who's a brilliant free kick taker, but Arnautovic, now that Noble's come off, he's almost essentially the captain of the side. So he's puff of the cheeks. This is a crucial moment in this contest. Arnautovic preparing to take this free kick, not before Kevin Friend has a word with some of the players in the wall. I think he's done with those now. It's a very big wall indeed, so Arnautovic will have to provide something special from this. Again, another stoppage as Anthony Knockett. He's crouched behind the wall. I'm not really sure what his role is there, to be honest, but there's plenty in there. Arnautovic steps over this. It's just wasting more time and building up the tension. Arnautovic will take it, and it goes just over the bar. Not the worst effort in the world. It's one of those where you think it's almost a little bit too close to the edge of the box to get it curled up and over. And Arnautovic has scored from that range before. He can't quite repeat it today.
Yeah, it's closer than Anderson's effort was, but I think it's over, and I think it's just wide of the top left corner as well. Just a little bit too much bend on it. I think Arnautovic is always going to take it. Snodgrass as well. It could have favoured the left foot, but I think the fact they just come on sort of worked against them, that it wasn't properly into the game yet. But yeah, that was a good chance spurned by West Ham.
Well, Brighton are going to make a change now. Solly march off, and Jurgen Locadia is about to come on. The big Dutchman who's not really impressed too many since making his move to Brighton in January. He's got a few minutes now just to try and make a nuisance of West Ham, and he's probably just been brought on again for the pace and the physical presence up there, because March is a good technical player but doesn't possess those things as much.
Yeah, he hasn't just done the sort of the stock change when you get to this stage and you 1-0 up with a few minutes to go, is an attacker off and a defender on. He's tried to keep the shape out there, to keep a few sort of forward-thinking players to not sit back too much. Locadia obviously can play the wide role if he wants to. He can go no worry. But yeah, I quite like that from Chris Hughton, just not to go too defensive.
Here comes Bong, and then it's played down the line, flicked on by Locadia. Zabaleta will get to it and play one back to his goalkeeper Fabianski, and he's been a passenger really the last hour of this game. I think that just shows how much West Ham have had and how much they'll rue losing this game if indeed the results stay that it is.
Yeah, bars 2 from and Murray, where to be fair Murray should probably score from one, which was 6 yards out, didn't get above the ball, didn't get off the ground. The second one slightly harder with an angling header, which he put on the roof of the net. But yeah, bar that, there's been no save for Fabianski to actually make in this second half. But then again, you look at West Ham, and they've had the Arnautovic near post strike, which is an easy save. They've had a free header from Balbuena, which he should have scored from 4 yards out. He put it wide. Apart from that, there's been no save for Matt Ryan to make. So exactly seeing what is the problem in this game, for argue for both sides, but Brighton took their chance and scored it, is that they're just not clinical in the final third.
Well, Robert Snodgrass, his first real contribution in this game is to pick up a booking, so just a late challenge, a simple booking for Kevin Friend to dish out. So Brighton, another chance to frustrate West Ham. Bong's looking for a long one forward, it seems. Not too many men up there. He's going to try and pick one of his teammates out. I say he tried, it was a terrible attempt. So West Ham now play one up towards Arnautovic. He's going to have to be quick to get there ahead of Bruno. He doesn't quite manage it. He feels it's a West Ham throw-in. He chucks the ball back to Bruno. Not the most friendliest of playbacks from Arnautovic. So seconds ticking away from a Brighton point of view, as they will relish the victory here, ending a run of 6 games without a win in the Premier League. Would be really important and particularly impressive, because West Ham coming into this game in decent form themselves, Brighton in poor form, and you really expect West Ham to have maybe got the victory against Brighton here, but it doesn't look like it's going to be.
Yeah, you got to give credit. I mean, this was the type of performance from right home season. They were quite solid at the back, didn't give too much away, but still had that pace and that little bit about them coming forward and threat. So I think it's good to see Brighton back to this kind of performance.
Here is Izquierdo running into the box, using his pace, getting some space to shoot. It's parried away, and then the finish will be applied, but the offside flag has gone up against Jurgen Locadia. Well, some of the Brighton fans are making their not too happy feelings known to the linesman on the far side. It did look like Locadia did drift, but Izquierdo, such a lively live wire of a player, got the strike away.
Off.
No, he's not. Glenn Murray ahead of him was offside, but Locadia was probably level, and
it's the back leg of Diop is playing him on.
Well, Arnautovic tries to poke one through into the box. He doesn't find a teammate. Rice will chest it down. Here comes Anderson. Matter of seconds to go until the board goes up, and we'll see how much added time. Once again, though, I don't think there'll be too much. Here is Snodgrass. West Ham still coming. Arnautovic. Oh, he blasts that one over the bar from 6 yards out. Snodgrass with a lovely little layoff. And then it was Perez that cut the ball back for Arnautovic. The man bang in form, and he blazes that one over the bar.
Should be 1-1. It should be 1-1, and that would have been very controversial because Brighton there, when they put the ball in the net, like we said, it wasn't offside, was Locadia. Diop's right leg that was outstretched backwards was playing him on, but then straight down the other end. Lovely play by Lucas Perez towards the byline, pulls it back. The man you want it to fall to, 6 yards out, and he just leans back, left-footed, and way over the bar, into his own fans as well, with the West Ham fans behind that goal.
Yeah, no wonder he's got his head in his hands, and he's still walking away looking dismayed with himself. 5 minutes has been added on. He nearly played a minute of that. So still Brighton, a bit of squeaky bum time for the remainder of this game. Rice picks it up now and tries to take it around the Brighton forwards. West Ham with the ball now into Masuaku. Here is Anderson. Back to Masuaku. Cross now to Anderson. Anderson coming forward. Arnautovic is hanging around on the edge of the box, but Anderson gives it away, and Bruno with the big heave-ho up front. Fabianski comes way out of his box to collect this one, and then just plays a ball into Diop. Diop to Masuaku. Masuaku, bit of space to operate in, and then square to Snodgrass, who's playing in a central area. Snodgrass lays one off to Zabaleta. Many men in the box. Zabaleta then takes it onto his left foot, and then the cross goes in. It's a not convincing clearance from Bong, but it somehow comes out to him. Bong will play one long down the line. Put up to the mix there by Balbuena, out for another throw-in. A total onslaught for West Ham.
It is, it's an onslaught, but there's no shots at Fabianski, nothing for Fabianski for Ryan to save in this second half. That's been the issue for them. They got in good positions, seen before with Arnautovic, heads out and he blazes it over. I have to say, man of the match contenders, there's two for me. Bruno is one. For the work he's done against Felipe Anderson when he's been running at him 1-1 is absolutely superb. I have to say he's made a lot of the majority of his tackles anyway, and the other one would be Shane Duffy.
Snodgrass tries to play one in now. That's cleared away. I can't really argue with either of those picks, to be honest. Lewis Dunk as well has had an excellent game at the back, and Bong has helped out in attack and defence. Masuaku forward now to Antonio on the left. Antonio, oh, that's a shocking ball in on his wrong foot. Just needed more composure, and that's what's been lacking really for West Ham for the 93 minutes that's been played so far. Got into nice areas. They've lacked that killer instinct and composure.
Well, he complained about his FIFA 19 rating, did Antonio, ahead of this. But to be honest, he can have no arguments really, because that is a shocker. He's not looked great when he's come on, Antonio. His touch, it's on numerous occasions he's miscontrolled it, it's bounced off his knee, it's bounced ahead of him, and it's just not been good enough from him. There's been a few crosses he's put in that have just been way over hit there. Just don't know what he's trying to do, but it's not helping his side. And as things stand, I think it's going to be frustration for the Hammers. I think if they lose this 1-0, they'll look at a few chances in the second half really. The Balbuena header, which he missed from 4 yards, the Arnautovic chance there from 6 yards out. I think they'll look at those and think we should have probably got at least one goal.
I think they should have, as Snodgrass The ball cannons off him, so it'll be a Brighton throw in again, adding to the frustration as Chris Hughton, looking nervous as he always does on the sideline, just barking out of instructions. He'll be delighted with the defensive resilience they've shown today. Headed out by Duffy up towards Locadia. Rice gets ahead of him though, and Rice will get the ball back. Plays Anderson, who's been busy in this second half without creating anything. He comes into the box now. Anderson, he just checks back, plays one into Arnautovic, who shoots, and that's deflected wide. It will be a corner kick as we enter the final minute of this game, and it's certainly going to be an exciting last 40 seconds. Again, very similar to the Arnautovic effort he just had. It probably was going on target this time, so a good block.
Yeah, good block indeed. Well, I think they've stuck everyone forward bar the keeper.
Corner into the box. It's headed away by Bissouma after getting a flick initially, and then Masuaku is dispossessed. Brighton will try and counter him, but Masuaku really well played, and then lays one now back off for Anderson into the box for Perez. He tries to square it now. Ryan will jump up. He's then bundled to the ground by Arnautovic. Ryan gathers the ball, and I think that will be that.
I think that will be that, and that's just frustration, I think, for Arnautovic with that jump. He knows he's not winning it, and he goes into the side of him.
And that is the full-time whistle. It's finished Brighton 1, West Ham 0. Bye.